Name Check. I'm Michael Riedel of the New York Post, and we have two very, very talented actors from the stage who are going on to the big screen now. We are joined by Jenn Harris, who I think is an absolutely brilliant comedian. She, for a year off Broadway, was in the hilarious musical, I think, called Silence, which is a parody of Silence of the Lambs, right?
Yep.
And you are sort of renowned in this town for your spot-on imitation of Jodie Foster.
That's a wonderful thing.
Let's just say for a second that you were Jodie Foster, and I said, Jodie, welcome to Name Check. How are you these days?
Actually, I'm doing just fine. How
And joining Jenn is a very, very talented stage actor, Matthew Wilkas, who is in Spider-Man: Turn Off the Dark. Now that must be exciting every day, with the possibility of falling on some audience member's head.
Yeah, well, it's a dream job in a lot of ways, flying over the audience. It's really fun.
Right. Right,
yeah.
but you weren't there when everything was falling apart in the beginning, right? You've joined subsequently since they got on track.
I wasn't there for that. I've just, I've heard the stories. And
I mean, it's a legendary Broadway show now, and the stories still redound around backstage when you're there?
Yeah, there's sort of a sense of survival. The cast survived, and they really bonded over it. And I think that it's kind of amazing that a lot of the originals are still there, and they believe in it. And
And remember, we were all predicting doom and gloom for it about 2 years ago, and $1 million gross a week. So
I guess it's that bad press is good press.
Keeps
thing.
It going, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are in a movie called Gaby, independent movie that's about to be released. Can you just give me a sense of what the movie's about and the roles that you play, Jenn?
Sure. Gaby is about two best friends from college who are in New York, and they're seeing a lot of their friends are having babies, and they want to have one as well. One is gay, one is straight, and they decide to make a baby together the old-fashioned way. Just because why not? They don't have money to do doctors and things like that. Right. So they decide, well, let's just have a baby the old-fashioned way, and so they decide to go down that path. And it's also a story of, like, we get to see their work lives and their personal lives, and they both use online dating service, and then.
Is there a sort of an undercurrent in this movie about the sort of loneliness of urban existence in some way?
I think that's a good, yeah, in a lot of ways it is. It's Johnny, who wrote it and directed it.
What's his name, Johnny?
Jonathan Losecki, we call him Johnny. He would say that it's really about finding your own family. When you don't have maybe necessarily a family
or the traditional family that we've all grown up to. Like, the world is becoming more accepting of the families we choose and the people that we choose in our lives and the cities that we move to and the families that we create.
Amazing. You were just a meme.
What about you? What do you do?
I teach Bikram, Vinyasa flow and such.
Any other goals?
I really want to get pregnant.
Great. Wonderful. I'm going to go.
What do you want to do? Well, this is nice. We could talk. I like talking. I'm not that big on talking. And I'm not that into nice. Okay. That's my best friend, Jenn. How's this for new? Jenn asked me to have a baby with her. That is so Brooklyn. Oh, you look really great.
Oh, shut up. I've gained like 4 pounds since you saw me last.
Should I just put it in a turkey baster?
I don't even have a turkey baster.
How do you want to do this?
I want to do it the old-fashioned way. Should I take my bra off?
Oh, God, no. You're the only man for me.
That's fine.
Okay. Just a little tighter.
Now, is this the first movie for you guys?
It's the first leads for us.
First leads in a feature. Yeah.
Right. So before you've been like sort of around the craft table and
yes,
a holding pen of where the extras
are. Table, this little part on 30 Rock, this little part on Law and Order.
This heroin addict on Law and Order.
Was that you? Were you a heroin?
Yeah,
no, she was a meth addict or something.
Either high comedy or high tragedy. Those are my polls. Those are my polls.
How about you? And you, what are the little tidbits that you played?
Yeah, like
weren't you in a morgue scene? Weren't you carrying a casket?
So. Oh yes, I was carrying a casket on Hope and Faith, and I had a couple lines
carrying
on
a
that.
casket.
Now I have to ask you that it's a lot more fun, is it not, though, when you're a principal in the movie, because all of a sudden you have the trailer, you have the people doing the hair and the makeup.
Absolutely,
it is fun.
And do you have like the
much more fun.
Do you have the stand-ins who are doing the lighting for you?
Oh no, we didn't have any stand-ins for Gaby.
Yeah, it wasn't
Gaby
that
was
high
very
budget.
Low budget.
Yeah, but there was a lot of attention paid to us, and so it's different. When you're a small part in something, it's like you don't have time. They don't have time for you. They need to get on to the bigger stuff. So
well, I love it when occasionally I do. I play myself on Smash on television.
Okay.
And I love they call the extras. They call them background.
Background.
And when they finish shooting something, let's say, oh, Mr. Riedel, would you come here? Would you like a banana? Would you like
Yeah.
a vegetarian enchilada or a meat enchilada?
Right.
And then the other people, background over there.
Yeah,
Just-
Yeah.
that's the most
That's how it
demeaning.
is.
Yeah,
It's totally demeaning, right?
Yeah.
Completely. You've all done that. So.
Time and
I
money.
I actually haven't done Have you ever done background?
No, I've never been done background.
I think that's probably the hardest job of all, I would imagine.
That would be a great online sketch for us to do.
They've done it.
Background actors.
I have to ask you, Matthew, Spider-Man is a very demanding show. I mean, and you're one of the guys flying around and doing lots of acrobatic stuff.
Well,
right?
no, the part I play regularly is Flash Thompson, and he actually doesn't do any acrobatics or flying.
Oh, really?
It's a real character actor part.
He's a bully, I think. In the
Yeah,
hospital,
I play
right?
him, and I play a whole bunch of other characters, and I understudy Peter Parker. And when I go on,
You have to
Parker,
fly
I have
there,
to
right?
fly. Yeah,
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
quite a lot of flying involved.
Yeah, absolutely. And but I mean, these things physically it must be demanding for everybody still. Even though the show is not falling apart anymore, but still,
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's more physically demanding than any other musical. Musicals, just in terms of the dancing and the acrobatics. I imagine Newsies is really intense. It's physically demanding, absolutely.
Now, Jen, I know you're a fine comedian, but do you do backflips and spin around in silence in your off-Broadway shows?
I actually can do a backflip. We don't do backflips in silence. Couple cartwheels. There used to be a back walkover in it, but then when we moved to 8 shows a week, I realized, we got to make it 3 cartwheels. That's how the back walkover got lost, and we actually got to run.
Gaby's about to be released here, but it's been on the film festival circuit, right? Mm-hmm. You're going around. This nice little gig, right? You fly around the world and go see.
Yeah, we started at South by Southwest in Austin, and I've been to San Francisco, LA. We went to LA together. It's been to many more places, Portland, Ashland. And it was a short before it was a feature, actually. So it's been seen in hundreds of film festivals.
Right.
Yeah.
But in the way that movies work today, it seems to me that they're, the big budget Hollywood movies are these sort of franchise things like the Avengers.
Right.
And then everything else is independent movie. There's no sort of the mid-tier human kind of movie anymore.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of that. I don't think that's really I don't think that's the sell right now. I think it is the big sells are like Avengers and Terminator and whatever all these big films are, and then it's the little tiny $100 a day films.
Right.
Yeah, I think
but
that
if
is
it's
kinda
successful,
fun.
we'll have Gaby 1,
Yeah.
Gaby
Perhaps.
2, Gaby 3.
Gaby 2 Electric
Gaby,
Boogaloo.
Revenge of Gaby.
Revenge of Gaby, precisely. All right, the movie is called Gaby. It opens here in New York, October 12th. It stars Jenn Harris and Matthew Wilkas. Thanks a lot for being our guests today on Name Check.